Welcome to your daily 49ers update. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. Here is what's happening. Brock Purdy made a comment yesterday that went viral and got a lot of 49ers fans mad, and it was about his freedom at the line of scrimmage, or maybe lack thereof. Here's what Brock said when he was asked what he can do at the line of scrimmage.
Usually we just have an answer built into the play. And so if we do have like an all-out blitz or something, we usually have an answer of where I should be hitting or where I should be going. And there's very rare occasions where we walk up to the line and we get a look and it's, oh, shoot, they got us. And then I'm supposed to randomly make up an audible. There's nothing like that. We usually always have an answer for pressures, all-out blitz, and things like that. So that's on me to get to the right guy.
A couple of things here to understand. First, this is always the way the offense has operated. And remember, they led the NFL in touchdowns last year with 60. Number two, Brock always has more than one play called. Every time he goes to the line of scrimmage, they can run the play that's called, or when you see him go can, that means he's changing the play. He's calling an audible to the second play that's been called. So it's not like he has no freedom at the line of scrimmage. And lastly, number three, Kyle is on record as saying quarterbacks can change things at the line of scrimmage. Tim Kawakami asked Kyle Shanahan before this season specifically about that. We played the audio for you on this show.
He has the same responsibility every quarterback I've ever coached has. Matt Ryan changed protections his whole career. And then he got with me and he's like, I can change that. I'm like, go ahead. If you see it, change it. Pick it up. Much rather throw deeper. But we have an offense that's built to where you don't have to. You're hot, you can't just throw it to Julio for a 5-yard gain, and they are bailing at that time, and I bet you Julio turns it into a 13-yard gain. And if you do that the whole game and you just trust that we have an answer, now your mind's a lot more clear, and you can play at a higher level. But go ahead. If you see something, dude, you always have freedom to make something better.
So I know a lot of 49ers content creators and other people were up at arms. I'm just telling you the reality of the situation. You may not like it. You may think he needs more freedom, but I'm just letting you know the way things are so you can have the proper context when you see people talking about those comments. Now, one more from Brock Purdy. We know that Ricky Pearsall and Jacob Cowing are going to have bigger roles in the offense going forward. Brock said yesterday he's taken the time to get on the same page with them.
This week at practice, it's been good. Just getting into certain situations and reps where we're thinking I'm gonna go to this receiver in a certain look, and then after practice, like running a couple routes or talking to those guys about, hey, this is what I'm expecting, and how are you seeing it as a receiver, and we just get on the same page, and I think that's huge. So, like I said, we got some young guys that are stepping into those roles, and for me, it's huge understanding how they think, and then vice versa. So, it's very vital.
If Deebo Samuel and George Kittle are back, it may not be as much of an issue. But if this season has taught us anything, we have no idea how long they're going to be able to stay on the field. So everybody has to be ready to step up if the moment calls for it. And it sounds like everyone's taking the proper precautions to be able to do that. Speaking of those injuries and those questions there, let's take a look at the injury report for this game. First, the good news. George Kittle, Deebo Samuel, and George Odom were all upgraded to limited at practice yesterday. Kevin Givens, Juwan Jennings, and Jake Moody still did not participate. Kyle Shanahan said on KMBR that it is unlikely Jennings plays in the game. Nick Bosa, Jordan Mason, and Chris Conley all remained limited. All hands on deck, boys. Come on. Got to get it done on Sunday night. We always give you one thing to read, one thing to watch, and one thing you might have missed. One thing to read on this Friday. If you're interested in a couple of names the Niners might be chasing before the trade deadline, Mike Silver has them for you in his latest column for The Athletic. I will drop the link in the description of this episode. One thing to watch. The NFC West race, it is going to be crazy. Puka Nacua is back, Cooper Kupp is back, and the Rams are back to winning. They beat the Vikings last night on Thursday Night Football, which moves them ahead of the Niners in the division. San Francisco is now dead last. And yeah, that stinks, but keep in mind, here's how fickle things are. If the Niners win on Sunday night and a couple other things happen, San Francisco could be back in first place by the end of the week. So it is a long way from settled in the NFC West. That is going to come down to the wire. One thing you may have missed, Cowboys kicker Brandon Aubrey is not practicing with the team this week. Why? because he has jury duty. Yes, you heard me. That's right. He can't go to practice because he has to do his civic duty and be on a jury. Now, Mike McCarthy has said they're going to have a plan. He's going to get his kicks in after serving jury duty for the day. But it is the first time I have ever heard of an NFL player not being able to practice because of jury duty. But here we are. That's a wrap on today's 49ers in 5. Please rate, review, and follow the Gold Standard Podcast Network wherever you get your audio podcasts. Like and subscribe to the YouTube channel as well. Click the bell so you get notified every single time we're live, which is every single weekday for you. Enjoy your Friday and your weekend, everybody. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. We'll talk later today.